Before we get started, I want to ask a favor of you. For some reason, YouTube is shadow banning this channel. And I don't know why. I don't do anything gimmicky. It's very solid. Could I be wrong on something? Yes. Don't mind if you correct me on it. But for some reason, they're only promoting 3 of my videos. And if you go over to the popularity setting, you can see that they're doing very well. But the rest of them are just sitting there. And in fact, with the fresh videos, for example, I might have 20 views and then they'll back it down again. So I really don't know what they're doing. So what I would like you to do is this. Would you please leave a comment? Doesn't even have to be anything other than comment. And would you watch another video, at least one more, and comment on that one too? If you would do that, I'd sure appreciate it tremendously. I want to stay away from all the little gimmicky things like asking for money. I don't want to ask for money from any viewers. I just would like you to leave a comment if you would. Now let's get on to this week's video. Many channels have been talking about the Harbor Freight Doyle Anvil. They have compared it to everything but a serving of mashed potatoes. Now, mashed potatoes are mighty fine to eat, but would make a poor comparison to the Doyle Anvil. So I've done an unboxing and simple tests that can be performed in any shop to see if all the hoopla is nothing but hot air, or is there something worth talking about? So let's do an official talk about. Hello anyone, I'm Scott Bain. They call me the old farmer. It's hard to say whether I'm fortunate to have the Central Forge Anvil. This could be open to debate. It might even be a better debate than the up-and-coming debates between the candidates running for the office of the President of the United States. These presidential debates could be an excellent lesson in how to say nothing in many words. If you're one of the many who write product manuals, regrettably you have this no-speak down to a science. Since I have both the Central Forge and the Doyle Anvils, besides the unboxing, I'm going to try some simple tests to see if the Doyle is indeed better than the Central Forge. Back on the farm, we had a blacksmith station with a darn good anvil. I wish I had held on to that little puppy. It was a darn good anvil. I must say that the Doyle Anvil at 65 pounds is easier to carry than a 40-pound bag of softener salt. For that matter, the Central Forge is easier to carry at 55 pounds than a bag of salt. Not an important detail, but almost interesting. The Doyle is very well packaged. With the horn being protected with a cardboard tubing that might be strong enough, if it was sufficiently long, that it just might make a pretty good joist post. But being made out of cardboard, the longevity might only be weeks, not decades. The anvil is well lubricated with enough lube to do the do of all the ducktails of a whole school back in the 1960s. Until you need to, I would leave the lube on the anvil when you plan to do hot blacksmithing, and then it would be wise to at least remove the lube from the top of the anvil so that you will not contaminate your steel. Directly hitting an anvil with a hammer is a bad idea. But what I'm doing is checking out the rebound of the hammer from the anvil. A good anvil will have a good amount of rebound. This reduces the amount of effort that it will take to do some hammering on a piece of steel or iron. I think you can see the rebounding differences in the rebound of each anvil. As for hammering on the anvil, I'm just dropping the hammer only a few inches, and I'm not putting any force in the dropping of the hammer. Also, the hammer is fairly light, not like a traditional blacksmith hammer that is used to do a whole bunch of pounding. I didn't actually weigh either anvil, but the Doyle feels a whole bunch heavier than the Central Forge. My thinking is that the Central Forge anvil does not weigh 55 pounds. Now, my bathroom scales are fairly accurate. It's a balancing weight style that is often found in older doctors' offices. Now, this scale is in the upstairs bathroom, and I don't actually care what the weight of either anvil is, so I won't be lugging these anchors up a flight of stairs. What I care about is, will it do the job? As you can see with this hammer, you can easily bend this soft steel with a little hammering. It is easier to bend the piece of steel on the Doyle than it is with a Central Forge anvil. A good anvil will bounce the hammer, saving a good amount of energy. Something along the lines of bouncing a golf ball on concrete. Now try bouncing that same golf ball on dirt. It will take a lot more energy to get the golf ball to bounce in dirt than it does on concrete. Is the Doyle anvil as good as the one that we had on the farm? Not even close. If you're going to do blacksmithing, you need an old-fashioned designed anvil. But for the rest of us, I think the Doyle will do the job. And if the bounce is 80%, it will do most jobs that the average person would need, unless you need that $500 anvil. As for the Central Forge anvil, it will make a great boat anchor or doorstop. I won't be keeping it. In fact, before editing this video, I had already fast-talked the anvil onto the truck bed of a friend for free. The first friend I asked turned it down. The second friend took it, but I don't know what he's going to do with it. In my opinion, the hardest thing you can do with a Central Forge anvil is finding a way of getting rid of it. Thanks for watching.
Before we go, thank you to our subscribers who helped us reach over the 1,000 subscription mark. It's very humbling to receive the support from our subscribers. Thank you. I will always try to give you accurate information, and I'm not worried if you disagree in comments. Just remember, youngsters may read your words. Well, this is the old farmer Scott Bain saying, be well, be safe, and be kind to someone today.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching the original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.